Okay.
This is Chris Childs getting ready to perform on Drunk Sports Talk. 1, 2.
Yo, I want to welcome everyone back to Drunk Sports Talk, New York's new #1 sports talk show out on these internet streets. We are the voice of the streets. Allow me to reintroduce myself. It's your boy Cash. I got my boy Q with me, and we have a very special guest on the show tonight. We have a New York legend. I know he's from the other side, he's from the left coast, but we claim him as one of ours. You know what I'm saying? He's a New York legend, legendary point guard from those late 90s, mid 90s to early 2000 Knicks teams that our city holds in revere, and we hold them sacred. If you're in New York, you know what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chris Childs. What's going on, brother?
Appreciate
No,
it, fam.
no,
Glad
salute, brother.
glad to be here, man. I'm like you said, I'm a New York till I die. That's where it all
Absolutely.
started when I was across the bridge in Jersey, then came back across to New York. So I'm
Yeah,
always
you were in
showing New
that.
York
I
love.
remember that. I remember when you was in that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Listen, I just look, like I said, those late 90, mid 90, late 90, early 2000 teams, man. I want to give you flowers, man, because like they were so special to us, man. They represented the blue collar, hard hat, everyday hustling, grinding New Yorker, man. And that's what the city was back then. It's a little bit more bougie and corporate and Starbucksy right now, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
but back then, that that's what it was, man. And you guys meant everything to us, man. So I just want to give you your flowers, man. You deserve it, man. Um,
Yeah.
no
No,
question. Yeah, yeah, good.
I appreciate it, man. That team that I was on was very special. We had a couple of rough patches. We lost to Miami, being up 3-1,
That's
getting
the
into the
fight.
getting into the altercation. But we redeemed ourselves the next few years, and then made it to the finals in '99.
You know, I know because last time we talked a couple years back, you told me that you're real cool with Oak, and you golf with Mike a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Around that time, Mike was at his highest power. 96, 97, 98. That's that second Bulls run. You know, we notoriously we've had issues with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I don't like to see a Bulls jersey. It drives me crazy. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? I love Mike. Don't get me wrong. I respect what he did. Everybody love Mike. I got Jordans on right now. What I'm saying in terms of like, that whole era, he killed a lot of our hopes and dreams. You being friends with him, years removed down the line. Back then, was there like a real hatred between the Knicks and the Bulls?
It was a hatred with any team that didn't have a New York on the front of it.
No doubt,
Uh,
no doubt. I
some
like that.
some some teams more than others.
Yeah.
It was the Bulls, it was Indiana, and it was Miami. Those were our rivals at the time. Mike and I didn't become close and play golf until afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
after I retired. But because I didn't want to be friends with anybody, and we had got into it a couple times in Chicago. And so when that happened, and I got kicked out the game for him throwing an elbow, me throwing a ball at him, that
Mm-hmm.
even
I
that
remember
even
that.
yeah, that even intensified the hate. So it's a different era, man. These guys, they're talented, but they hug each other after a game, and I just can't get with that.
Yeah, yeah. It's still I still love. Shout out to LeBron, but it's still LeBron. Everybody friends. You know what I'm saying? Like um. I want to get into the state of the Knicks now, but I'll be remiss and all our fans be remiss if I didn't ask you a couple more questions from back then. Um, when you're with Oak or you with LJ or whoever, and you guys get nostalgic, what's like what's like a moment that the biggest moment that comes to mind if you could put your finger on one of them?
On the court or off the court?
Both.
Well, on the court was well, it was two. Two. One is funny, and the other one was gratification. So the funny one was the fight between LJ and Alonzo.
Alonzo, yeah.
And LJ's my boy, but two big guys that I mean they
Both
they
Brolic back then. Yeah, they was both
yeah, but they look real awkward with their hands.
yeah,
And seeing Jeff,
on the
grab
floor.
his leg like he was a jockey on a horse or something, man. And I had to go down there and pull Jeff, you know, off of Alonzo's feet because he was gonna get, stepped on.
That's a moment. That's a
And
moment.
seeing him get up and his hair went to the side, it was it was comical. But
Yeah, facts. Facts.
and then LJ's 4-point play against Indiana, man. I've never seen a guard erupt like that, man. It was like no other. And just me being a point guard, after he made it, I had to calm him down because he ran down the other end. And I said, bro, you just tied the game. Slow down. We need you to make this for us to go up.
Is
And
that
as
what
I'm
you said? I always wondered because you ran towards each other and it
Yeah.
was like I always wondered what you guys said to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, man, calm down. You only tied the game. So you got to make these
Yeah.
free throws. And as I'm telling him that, here comes Spree, bear hugging the both of us. And I had to turn around and tell him, man, calm down. We need LJ to make these free throws. So the way the crowd erupted and us finally getting to the finals, man, it was like no other.
That was
That's dope,
crazy.
man.
Yeah. That
But
was
like, yo, man, like, and I've always wanted to know this too, because Chris, you played with some of the most iconic New York Knicks legends ever, man. Like, yo, what was that locker room like, man? You played because you shared a locker room with Latrell, Ewing, Starks, Oakley, Larry Johnson, Charlie Ward at one point, man. Like, what was Allen Houston like? What was that locker room with all these dudes and like, you know what I mean, like. That was a tough New York team, man. It was mad like when y'all like, yo, man, we're gonna go to the strip club with a bar. Now we're gonna fuck the next team up, like what was the mentality? We're gonna win the next game, man. We gotta do what we gotta do,
Yeah, it was a few Sioux rendezvous trips and
yeah. Mount Vernon, y'all up in the
yeah,
Vernon?
a few of those trips, a couple of trips to Jimmy's in the Bronx.
No
So
doubt.
yeah, but my what's crazy, my locker, it was when you first walk into the locker room, it was Allen Houston was on the left,
Mm,
then it was me, then it was Charlie Ward. So we all sat by each other,
mm,
and then you had Patrick and John over there, and then you had LJ Oak. Then when Spree and Camby came,
Mhm.
then you got Kurt Thomas. You
Kurt
got
Thomas.
I got to get my boy. He was my rookie, LeVar Postel,
LeVar
Mhm.
Postel.
Dante Jones, John Wallace.
John Wallace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot
Who
about
else we
John.
had?
Syracuse.
See, I don't like missing people. Uh,
Yeah.
And then
uh,
you had Dudley for a little bit.
Chris
Yeah. Chris
Dudley. That's
Dudley.
what
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah.
Dudley. Herb Williams. We call him.
Herb
Yeah,
Williams.
yeah, Herb Williams.
Yeah, we call him School. The
I
old
think Herb is
school.
still on the team. No, I'm just messing.
Yeah, but
Herb was stuck
Hey,
around for a long time.
I don't know if Herb. I wonder if he made 20 years.
He had to because he was on that bench for a long time with
Man.
Van Gundy. Then he
um
started coaching. He went with
where'd he go?
I'm trying to think the coach, our assistant coach, ended up Don Chaney.
Don
Yeah.
Chaney.
He was there with Chaney. So it was just a good group of guys that understood that we had a job to do. You know
Don
what I mean?
Chaney, Temple legend. Yeah, I remember. I forgot about
No,
John.
no, not
Oh,
that Don Chaney.
oh, yeah. My bad.
The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
Don that he played in the league
Oh,
and
okay,
coached.
okay.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of
What's the biggest shot to you? The LJ 4-point play or the Houston the Paul Marlon the one that rimmed out against Miami?
they're both was great shots,
Yeah,
but it had to
yeah,
be LJ's shot because we went that
yeah.
shot put us in the finals.
Y'all put you out in the finals. Yeah,
But
yeah.
Allen's shot was iconic. John's dunk was
Mhm.
iconic against the Bulls. I mean, it's been a lot of great moments that we've all been a part that I was lucky to be a part of.
yeah. It's there was a lot of talent on that team and in that locker room. That's why I was like, always wanted to know, like, what were these guys like? Because me, I'm competitive too. I'll probably be like, yo, let's go on the court right now, go 1-on-1 or something,
We did that all the time. We fought each other. our practices was harder than the games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most teams, like if you go to shoot around, you come in there, you got your shoes untied, you got, you just lax. Nah, man, Jeff had us tape our ankles.
Yeah.
We went hard for an hour and a half, and we got out of there. But it was never a time to where we just took things for granted. We went to work, and I mean, we fought. I mean, we played 1-on-1. Me and John got into it. He'll go up for a dunk. I'll foul him. I'll go up to try to dunk. He foul me. We push, fight, whatever. But after we're done, we hugging and say, "Hey, man, well, let's put this all this effort and energy
Yeah.
when we go on the court against these other cats." And then it was a funny story, man. We was playing. We played Charlotte
Mm-hmm.
in the playoffs, and so I was the hype guy on the team. So
Mm-hmm.
I always played DMX where my dogs at,
No
right?
doubt.
Before we would go out. So
Right.
the old garden where the locker rooms are apart from each other. You
Mm-hmm.
come to the middle of the tunnel, you walk out. So we come out the locker room and we getting hyped, getting ready, and we look down to our right, and Charlotte, they had Muggsy Bogues, Glenn Rice,
Yeah.
Lonzo,
Yeah.
uh,
They had a crew.
um, yeah,
Yeah,
Bobby,
Del Curry, right?
Del Curry, rest in peace, Bobby
Mm-hmm.
Fields, uh, Mason.
Mm-hmm.
They had a squad, but I
Yeah.
looked down there, and these cats start singing "I Believe I Can Fly" by R. Kelly,
And you got the DMX popping.
right? And so I look at my guys. I'm like, "Oh man, we getting ready to kill these dudes." And I start barking, "Roof, roof," where my dogs at, and we got hype, and we end up sweeping them because I knew it because I can. You can't come out and compete to "I Believe I
Yeah.
Can Fly," man. True
You ever
story.
met X back then?
I met X a couple times, man.
Rest in
X is
peace.
rest in
Well,
peace,
rest in
man.
peace.
One of my favorite artists, man. And I just looked at an old interview of X, and they asked him, they say, "Hey, man, what do you think about the new artists?" And
Mm,
Rick Ross, and
mm,
X like, you know, he's okay. He raps about food. How much food
yeah.
can you eat?
Oh, did I see that? Was that
Oh, I think
was he
that's the
getting
Hot
on Drake
97,
too?
right?
Did he get on Drake that interview too? Said
I
something
don't
about
know if
Drake?
it was Drink Champs or it was
The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I think it was either Breakfast Club
He's like, he don't
it,
like
or
Drake haircut. He don't like the way he walk. I don't know if that was the
yeah,
same
he
interview. That's
he
wild.
man, he wild. I love X, man.
man.
It's one of my favorite artists of all times. But he was
No,
like, yeah, yeah, he all right. He raps about food. How much can you eat?
Yeah, he said what's on his mind. At the Garden, man, legendary. It's the mecca of basketball. You playing in it, nothing like the Garden in a playoff game. Maybe only other place like that is maybe not the Forum, but Staples or the Forum back then.
Mhm.
Who are some of the stars? I know you playing as a Knick that you maybe looked over and said, "Yo, what's the names? Such and such is in the stands tonight." Like, was there anybody that you just was starstruck by?
The only person, and I can't remember, it wasn't at a game. It was at a barber shop in New York, and my barber called me and said, "Man, guess who's in here?" I'm like, "Who?" He's like, "Muhammad Ali."
Wow,
And so I was already on my way. And so when I went in there, he knew who I was.
that's crazy.
And had a
yo,
had a conversation with him, and he signed an autograph, and he gave me a book and signed it. I still had that book, and I still have that autograph. And I mean, that's Ali, man. You know.
Yeah, that's
yo,
crazy. Wow,
oh, that's
And
Absolutely.
insane, man. And we
and
love
then
boxing over here too.
yeah, then there was another joint. It was a place called Joe's. I think it was on 79th between 8th and 9th or 7th and 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And I
West
used to
side.
go, yeah, I used to go there all the time because I knew the owner. And so I was in there with, my crew. We upstairs celebrate my birthday.
Mm.
And he said, "Man, I got a surprise for you." Man, because he had a upper level that you with some privacy, but you can
Mm-hmm.
open the door and see the whole restaurant. And here comes Stevie Wonder singing "Happy Birthday" to me, man.
Oh, get out of here! Word.
Yeah, yeah, man. And the phone's up, and oh man, it was amazing. So
Yo,
those
that's
those
Yeah,
crazy.
those two experiences, man, I'll never forget.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah,
I was
that's crazy, Ali. Yeah, two of the goats. Wow, that's
That's
insane.
insane.
Um,
I've only ever had my family sing me happy birthday.
yeah. Nobody like you. That's why. Nah, yo, we don't. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't see you too much back at the Garden anymore. And we know Charles had the issue with Dolan a couple of years back, which I thought was whack. You know what I mean? We didn't stand behind that. Oka's one of us. What's the relationship like with some of you 90s guys? I know Spree's there a lot. I actually bumped into him at the game not too long ago. I see Houston there and Starks, but I don't see it doesn't feel like all you guys are there, like at once, or some of the more obscure Knicks are there. What's your relationship like with Dolan and the Knicks organization now?
I really don't have one.
Mm.
It's unfortunate because uh, I played my heart out. I gave 100% every time I was on the court.
Yeah,
Love my
facts.
teammates. When that thing happened with Oak, I spoke up, and the only thing I said was, if I was at the Garden, I probably would have went to jail too because I'm gonna support my teammate.
No doubt. No
And
question.
I don't know if they took offense to that. They had before that happened. They had something at the Garden. It might have been before or right after, but they were celebrating our '97 through 2000 team,
Mm-hmm.
and Oak and I wasn't invited. And
That's crazy.
through rumors, guys like the equipment manager and a couple other people in the organization, they lied and said, well, we called Chris and invited Chris. He was asking for too much. I ain't never asked the Knicks for nothing other than send me some stuff for the kids that I mentor that I can give away in the neighborhood like I did when I was in New York.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
terrible.
when they put that jacket out there on me, I said, you know what? Let me just step aside and not even be involved with that. I would love to come back to the Garden. That's why I come back to New York and do camps and clinics for kids and hang out in the neighborhood. I still go to Harlem and go to stores that I used to frequent and talk to people. And I talk to fans on IG and Facebook and
Yeah,
all
you
those
outside.
things. So it's on them, man, to reach out. I've never done anything or embarrassed the organization uh,
That's
by any
terrible.
means. So it's on them to make the move.
That's terrible, man. The Mets were like that for a little bit when Steve Cohen took over. Now they retired Keith's number. They're gonna retire Doc and Daryl's number this year. Dolan needs to follow suit and get his stuff together, man. Because that's whack, man. Let me ask you this. This is something a little more personal. If you don't want to answer it, it's cool. Last time I talked to you, I believe you said your son was marrying Gary Payton's daughter,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
they got
they
married.
yeah, they got married. They have two kids. They just had a grandson
Nice,
last
congratulations.
Congrats.
yeah,
I'm a
last week.
grandpa
So
too. Yeah,
yeah, so it's a beautiful thing, man. We're a good family. We come together every so often to do stuff with the kids and I mean the kids and the grandkids, and
no doubt.
it's just ironic that Gary and I compete against each other in college and in the pros, and then we uh, end up becoming family.
What's
Right.
Thanksgiving like this after dinner's over? Does he take you into to the yard and y'all get it popping, or well? I know he talked a lot of. I know he talks crazy. What goes down?
No, it's just back and forth heckling, man. He still run his mouth, talking trash. I'll talk trash back. But we just hang out, man, have a
Yeah,
good time, man. Have dinner. Uh,
that's what's up.
we had a christening last year in Houston for my son's first
Yeah,
son, and we were all down there hanging out, having a good time, sitting at the bar, reminiscing and talking stuff. But he always say, "Well, I'm a Hall of Famer." I said, "You're a Hall of Famer, but you only beat me one time."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Facts,
Yeah,
facts. Um, let's transition a little bit to the NBA right now, man. Since you guys have played, the NBA has changed, man. I don't know if it's for the better or for the worse, but we know that it's changed, right? Back then, it was a lot of half court, ground and pound, throwing it to the post. Now it's all everything is a three. You know what I'm saying? Everything's analytics. You know, um, you see, a stretch five back then was not the norm. Now that's the norm. Everyone has to be able to shoot a 3-point. You look at people like Porzingis and all these bigger guys that can shoot. What do you think about the NBA, man, now? Because you do clinics and everything, and you see how these little kids are. Everyone wants to be Steph Curry. Everybody's grabbing a rebound and running to the 3-point line. how do you think the NBA has changed for the better, or is it changed for the worse?
Well, everything evolves.
Yeah.
When we were playing, you can hand check. You can,
Mm-hmm.
guard somebody and have one hand on them, and you can push them whatever way you want them to go. Now, you can't. When you're
Yeah.
driving, I think that when you drive to the basket now, yeah, you can get away with a little more. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or I mean, I'm sorry, you can't get away with it because everything's a flake.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think guys like, well, why go to the basket and I can shoot a three without getting hit? They don't want the contact.
That's true.
Um, the analytic stuff, I mean, that's nothing but X's and O's. They
Yeah.
just gave it a name, and they gave a job to somebody they went to college with that was a math major that don't know anything about basketball. So
Yeah.
they get a job, doing analytics. But you still got to put the ball in the basket. There's a lot of talented players.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I mean, the Greek Freak is unreal.
Yeah.
Luca is a beast.
Luka.
The other kid in Denver is, I mean, I've never seen anybody that slow, but that
Jokic.
Jokic, but that can
Yeah.
control the game from his
Yeah.
position,
He
you
can't even
know.
jump on the curb. Word up. He
Yeah.
got no athletic ability. It's
But he's
crazy.
big. He's
He's big.
big, and and that's the thing that everybody missed, his fundamentals.
Yeah.
If you look at all the great Michael, Kobe, LeBron, you got to put him in there because he's unstoppable because of his footwork.
Mm.
His footwork is just unbelievable. So you don't
Work is
know,
insane.
where he's going. And it's the same thing with uh that other kid, Edwards, is a beast in
Anthony
Minnesota.
Edwards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ant Man
Anthony
is
Edwards.
sick.
And yeah, man, he's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah. He's
And
sick.
so these guys are stronger, faster. They're jumping out the gym. The game has evolved. If it's going to evolve, they should have either put Mike or Kareem as a logo. Jerry West has been up there forever. He's done great things. But if the game is going to evolve that and reward these guys for their work and put somebody else up there as the logo for the NBA.
They were
Yeah.
talking about
Yeah,
Kobe
they were
for a
talking
while
about.
when he had passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they were talking about Kobe. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Kobe, but I,
interesting.
I thought it should have been Kareem because that sky
Yeah.
hook
Yeah. Unstoppable.
as a logo would have been incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have looked cool too.
Right.
And plus, we
You-
see the Jordan logo everywhere. We don't need to see it on the NBA.
yeah. I don't. Yeah. Tell Mike we don't need that over there. We're not over here in New York, man. I know he born in Brooklyn, but still. Now, let's talk about the current state of the Knicks, man. You guys, before after you guys retired and weren't in New York anymore, there was a very long drought. You had the Marbury teams, the Jamal Crawfords, up until the Carmelos and the Raymond Feltons. You had a whole bunch of different guys, and all respect to all of them. But we weren't winning. You guys were the last team before this new regime. Other than Melo for a hot second and 13, and Mike Woodson and them, those guys. We're finally starting to win a little bit. What's your take on the Knicks? How they're doing now? They just recently got OJ Anunoby. They traded two fan favorites, RJ and Quick. OG seeming to fit in seamlessly. What is your take on the Knicks team right now?
Before I comment on that, hey man, let me give a shout out to Stephon Marbury, man.
That's
He
my
don't
guy.
get he don't get talked about a lot. I
Facts.
think he's one of the most underrated point guards
Yeah.
that's ever played the game, along with Rod Strickland and Terrell
Yeah.
Brandon.
Word.
But Marbury was an incredible player, man. He strong, quick, fast, could score different levels of the game and knew how to control the game. So shout out to Stephon, man.
Shout out to him.
We didn't always get along, but
Yeah.
I give respect where respect is due, man. And the brother can get down.
Your first year with the Knicks was his rookie year, right? Was that it? I think
I think when I was
96.
I was in New
Yeah.
York and he was in Jersey.
Yeah, he was in the
He was
Nets.
in Jersey. He came over from
Yeah.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he came after Robert Pack.
Yeah.
Because when I left, Robert Pack came in, and then I think that's when Stephon went like 97, I think 96 and 97.
Steph gets a bad rap though. They act like he was like a cancer to these teams and everything. Even if he was up in Boston for a while, and then he eventually made his way over to China, and that's where he kind of got into his own. But shout out to Steph Marbury, Coney Island, stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Because I saw a thing on Sebastian Telfair, and I saw,
That's his cousin,
uh,
right?
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
how Stephon has grown up as a man and the things that he was saying. I applaud that. So I just wanted to shout him out real quick.
Wow.
But as far as the Knicks,
Yeah.
I wasn't happy about the trade initially
Mm-hmm.
because I thought that OG, whatever his name is,
Mm-hmm.
was a two-way player, and I thought Barrett was a three-way player. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought that OG could just play defense and shoot threes.
Mm-hmm.
Barrett can do three. He can create, shoot,
Mm-hmm.
score, and defend a little bit. So,
Mm-hmm.
but him coming in and just came in and just fit in perfectly
Finna
uh,
perfectly.
makes the team a lot stronger. But I still think we're a player away.
That seems to
Uh,
be the consensus. What do you think? Like a scoring two, maybe?
man, I
Off.
told him, man, I like DeMar DeRozan, man.
Me too.
At the
That
Mars
mid-range
Rosen.
game,
I
footwork.
like
You talked about footwork. That
foot
turnaround. Yeah.
because
Man,
you need somebody that can get you buckets in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know, these other
man,
guys, only one can create really is Brunson. You have a couple other guys.
yeah,
They're fit. They're puzzle pieces. So
Yeah.
you need another guy that can create shots and get you a bucket in crunch time. And so they need another a slashing 2, 3. And if
yeah.
they can make a move, man, go get DeRozan.
Yeah, and DeRozan sounds like something we could probably do. Like that's feasible this year because I don't think Dejounte Murray is going to happen or Donovan Mitchell anytime soon. You know what I mean?
No, you won't get Mitchell. You might. I don't think you can get Murray either because he just re-signed recently as well, right?
Yeah. You know, speaking of that, man, I was gonna ask you that too. You know, as of late, the NBA has become very like divisive and partisan. And when I say that, it's okay. I'm signed to CAA. I'm only going to negotiate with these teams. I'm signed to Clutch Sports. I'm only going to negotiate with these teams. You know what I'm saying? They call Leon Rose and them the CAA mafia. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why everyone's worried about Julius. Maybe won't be there next year because he left CAA. OG just signed with CAA. He's a Knick now. Well, what do you think about this whole basically divisiveness in the NBA with as far as the agents and the GMs and all that?
Well, they're giving the agents too much power.
Yeah.
They're
Mm-hmm.
giving them too much power to build and negotiate and put their players where they want them to go, and it's almost like cheating to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, that they're able to control the outcome of free agency, and it shouldn't be that way. And guys, I'm a firm believer. I want to beat the best, so
Mm-hmm.
I want to be on a team that we get along and our chemistry is there, and let's go beat the best team in the league. But everybody wants a super team. Everybody wants to play with the best players.
Yeah.
But that's just the way the game has grown.
Was it wrong?
Yeah. Do you feel like it's kind of changing though now? Because I know like that super team and the big three, like that was like the thing for a long time for maybe like past like
That's the LeBron
15
legacy.
years. That's a LeBron legacy. And I don't see many teams like especially in the last couple of years. Now it's like the big two is like now they're all saying, okay, the best duo is, and I feel like that's kind of changed. Do you think it's going to continue to change, or you think in the future it's always going to continue? Teams are going to just want to build the biggest teams, and you got to have a whole bunch of Durants, going to like the Warriors and the Suns, for their whole career.
No, I mean, right now it just seems like the teams are getting chemistry players that fit in
Mm,
with two guys. There it's not three because if you look at Miami, they had four guys. They had Bosh,
mm,
LeBron, Wade, and they had Ray Allen.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they have
yeah,
four guys. But now how the game is played, that they're getting up and down the court, they're playing defense, and they got a lot of spot up shooters and a creator. You look at Denver, they play the game the right way.
yeah,
They make you change your game when you play
yeah,
them. Boston.
yeah,
I don't think they'll win because they shoot too. They fall in love with the threes too much,
yeah,
and they're not really great 3-point shooters.
yeah, 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 yeah.
They're they're,
It's
they're
more
trying
like
to.
slashes. Yeah,
If they would slash more, you can still get 40 points in the paint.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Tatum.
everybody's falling in love with the three. So we'll see it, but the game is going to continue being. Let's get two guys, and then let's fit pieces around this puzzle to make a whole puzzle. And Denver has shown that that's the way to do it. Get role players, that know their role, play their
Right.
role, and get a couple of superstars, and let's see what happens.
And I think with the whole CBA, the new CBA that just came about with the second apron is very complicated, but I think that makes it hard. And I think that was actually put in place to kind of kill that super team,
Right.
nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to kind of maneuver with that now. Salary wise, I don't know if super teams are feasible anymore. You know what I mean?
No, you're right,
Um,
because then they don't want to get hit with the
yeah, the
luxury
luxury
tax.
tax and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You being a point guard and the leader that you were and the dog that you were, talk a little bit about Jalen Brunson, man. We talked about Marbury. We haven't had a real good point guard since you and Marbury and those guys. We finally got one. No disrespect to French, those dudes. Did you play with his father?
Rick. Yeah, I played
Rick?
with Rick. Yeah,
Yeah, you played with Rick. Did you
Tricky
have anything
Ricky.
with Jalen when he was young?
I remember him, but he
Mhm.
was little. This is you
Yeah,
talking about 20 years ago.
when he was a young boy. Yeah,
He was a
yeah, yeah.
young boy, but I followed him, and since Rick was my teammate, I followed him in Villanova. Um, I, he surprised the heck out of me when he came to New York. I wasn't
Yeah,
really fully sold. I knew he had a great year in Dallas,
yeah,
and everybody can't play in New York, but his demeanor
yeah,
is what the team needs.
yeah.
He came in and said, "Look, this is my team," without saying it.
Right.
He let
Mhm.
his play speak
Facts.
for itself, and I think that's where Randall had a problem because it was his team, but he didn't know early on. He didn't know how to just play his part. You know what I mean? You can still get your 30, your
Mhm.
28, but you can't do it the same way you did it before because he needs the
Yeah,
ball in his hand.
yeah. And
So
kudos to Randall. He's learning that now.
lately he's been doing a better
Yeah,
job and scoring more in the paint instead of shooting eight threes a game. That's not good. But
yeah. That's not his thing. What
Brunson's
what what about Brunson's game? My bad, Chris. What about
no, you good.
Brunson's game makes it so I can't put my finger on it. He's like awkward. He's like he kind of reminds me a lot of Luca. That herky jerky like
Yeah, the chain
footwork type. Like
speeds.
what is it about him that makes him so good? Because he doesn't jump the highest. He's not the fastest. You know what I mean? He's not the best jump shooter. He has a decent jumper. What makes him so hard to guard?
Footwork and basketball IQ.
Mm,
He's very smart. He knows how to get his shot off. He reminds me of a bigger, tiny Archibald. You know,
okay.
going to the paint, being able to control the game, off balance shots, and he a lefty.
Yeah.
Being
Mhm.
a lefty and
Lefty's different.
uh, is he never lets you speed him up. He plays at his own pace,
Yeah.
and he's learned that I can't go 100 miles an hour all the time. I go 100, then I got to go 50, then I go
Yeah.
80, then I got to go 60. So he keeps you off balance, and they try to put bigger guys on him, and he's over there licking his chops like
Yeah.
big or small. I'm giving you the business,
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that's
and
why
he
he be
should, and
drawing all
he,
those fouls.
yeah, and he should be in the MVP conversation.
Jalen.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. That's what's up. We need to get him into the All-Star game, man. Oh my New Yorkers. I vote for Jalen to be in the
Word up.
All-Star game. He deserves that. You know what I mean?
Oh, he'll be in there.
Yeah. 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 You mentioned Julius. Julius hopped around from teams. He was out there in LA with Kobe. He was on the Pelicans for a while. When the Knicks initially got him, he felt like a stopgap guy till they can draft like a 4 that could be the 4 of the future. But he kind of threw a monkey wrench in those plans, man, because he made the All-Star, had most improved player, made 2 All NBA teams, I think 3rd teams. And then he just really developed into this really great player. He gets a lot of flack because he does take some ill-advised shots, especially last year, and he hasn't always shown up in the playoffs, you know what I mean? For whatever reason, ankle, whatever it might be. I think Julius is coming to his own this year. He plays that bully ball, kind of has that throwback style that you guys used to play, reminds me of a little bit. What's
Mhm.
your assessment of Julius Randle?
He should have called Zach Randolph
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
No
went
doubt.
to a Zach Randolph basketball clinic.
No doubt.
Uh,
He does play like Zach, yeah.
that's his game. I
Yeah.
like what he's doing now. Early on, I think he was feeling himself a little bit. He was a little selfish
Mm-hmm.
at times, but he's coming to his own.
Yeah.
I still want him in the paint more. I think he should have got with Jalen when he first came in to the team
Mm-hmm.
and had a conversation with him and say, man, you and me, we go pick and roll him to death
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if they pick and roll and they gonna need that in the playoffs in the fourth quarter, they'll
Yeah.
be
Facts.
unstoppable because they're gonna have to double
Mhm.
team Jalen, throw that ball to Randall, but tell Randall don't go to the three, just stay within the 15 feet area. Now you can do what you want to do. You can shoot that shot, you can drive, you can dish, you can do it all. But he's getting better. But I still want him in the paint more, and he should take Jalen out to dinner and have a conversation with him.
I agree. I agree.
Right. Yo, I was listening to the radio earlier, and I know we spoke about a couple of the Knicks players individually. So let me ask you something about more of a team. We got OG now, and you know, you said you were Nick for life. Me and Cash were Nick fans for life. The love ain't going nowhere. And I heard Kendrick Perkins say that he thinks the Knicks is the second best team in the East. Do you agree?
That's big. He been hating on the Knicks for years. Go ahead. My bad.
I think they're playing the second best basketball in the
Yeah.
East. I still think they're probably third because you got Boston, you got Milwaukee, you got Indiana, you got Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, they're either second or third. I wouldn't. I would put them in front of Indiana.
With or
Probably.
without Halliburton, because he's hurt right now, right?
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got a groin. He got a
They
type
balling,
1
though.
groin strain.
Indiana. I hate to say it, but they balling right now.
Oh yeah, they got a good team. They're
Yeah.
playing that same up tempo game, and they got a point guard that understands the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah. We could have had
Uh,
him too.
yeah, New York and Philly is a toss up, but I think we have more weapons
Yeah.
than Philly has at the moment. But um, I mean, it's still early on.
Yeah.
Uh, we match up better with um, Boston than we do with Milwaukee
Because of the size, right?
because of the
Yeah.
size. We can match.
Yeah.
We can put length on them, especially with OG now.
Yeah.
We can put length on them. We can put Josh on Brown, and we can put
Yeah.
OG
Oh,
on Tatum.
yeah. That helps.
Yeah, that really helps. So
Yeah.
I like our matchup if it comes down to it against Boston.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eh, If we get Mitchell back, rim protector,
Mhm.
get that rebound, kick it out. He's going to be, hopefully, he comes back strong and healthy.
Comes back strong and
Uh,
healthy.
he'll be a big key. I can't remember the white kid's name, but he's been
Oh,
doing a lot.
Hartenstein?
Hartenstein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Stein's heart.
Word up.
Yes, I'm just calling him Stein.
Stein.
Dying.
Yeah, he's got some heart. Hopefully McBride can develop off the bench because losing quick it's a big hit off that bench, that
Yeah,
scoring.
yeah,
You
that
know?
was tough. That was tough.
Yeah.
So
What do you think about Grimes?
Grimes. He needs to go see the wizard.
Yeah. Get some heart.
Get some heart because
Mm.
you can't let someone take away your heart or
Yeah.
your competitiveness. And I played for Tibbs.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tibbs. Tibbs, if you put in the work and you play
Mm-hmm.
well, he's going to play you.
Yeah.
But it must be something else. I don't know how hard he works in practice. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how professional he is with his time away from the court.
Mm-hmm.
But he needs to just whatever minutes he get, make them the best. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 4 minutes. Stand out. Don't just be
Facts.
out there. Do something that they're going to see and say, okay, we're going to play you more. You know what I
That's
mean?
a
Don't
very
just
good point.
just don't be in the corner. I don't care if you got to knock somebody in the stands, take a
Mhm.
charge, uh, get a deflection or whatever. Stand out. Don't just be a number out there.
Yeah, he does lack heart. That's a great way to look at it, man. Because you see him on the off season working out with JJ Redick, and you hear all these good things, and he has the tools, and then he gets out there and he seems timid. He seems I don't want to say nervous, but he doesn't something. He's just not panning out. He's a good defensive player, but I know you said you mentioned you played under Tibbs when he was an assistant with Van Gundy, right?
Yes.
Does he have anything? Did he take anything from Van Gundy in the style? You believe?
I think the game has grown, so he's adapted because if you
Mm-hmm.
look at his first few years there, you can see that the tempo was slower and it was more Jeff
Right.
style.
Yeah.
But now that he had more players, more talent, he's speeding the game up more. But
Yeah.
in the fourth quarter, it's still going to come down to half court execution,
Mm-hmm.
which Tibbs understands, and defensively, that's his bread and butter. So if you don't give it to him if you give it to him defensively, you can shoot whatever shot you want.
Yeah.
But if you don't give it to him defensively, he's going to stay in your ear about the shots that you take because he's a defensive minded coach.
Yeah. Facts. Um, what do you think about Jeff getting let go from ESPN? I mean, Jeff is very outspoken. I love him and Mark was great. I don't know how they let them go. The best broadcasting team I've ever heard, and I've been around for a minute. I think it was more than just budget cuts with them. You have an opinion on that at all?
I don't know I'm not sure what happened
Mm,
at that time with them being at ESPN because I thought since they were the top crew, why would you let them go? You usually let go guys underneath. I don't know what their salaries were. I don't know if they were up for a new contract,
mm.
but to let both those guys go, it had to be something internal, and I have no idea. But they got rid of two good ones
They
that
say,
were
yeah.
that were great at their job because Mark played at the highest level, coached at the highest level,
Mm,
and Jeff coached at the highest level and really understood the game, X's and O's. So I don't put nothing past nothing, man. With ESPN and a lot of stuff
mm.
that's going on, they let people get away with. Certain people can say this, so
Yeah.
I don't. I try not to get involved, man.
You think Mark will ever get a coaching job? He deserves one. They seem to be blackballed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get another job. They don't like you when you want to go out there and praise God. You know what I mean?
Mm,
These players are making so much money, and if you go to them and you talk to them a certain way, or you try to help them or implement something,
Mm-hmm.
they'll run the management and say, "Look, I'm making 10 million, 15, 30 million a year. He's only making 5. Somebody has to go." So,
yeah, facts.
yeah, it's very unfortunate that Mark doesn't have a job. He should have had a job uh, a year after they let him go in Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Facts.
For real.
Facts. Um, I only got like two more for you, Chris, and I want to talk about your charitable things and stuff. We wanted to talk about some conscious, stuff. I wanted to ask you. Everybody asked you about the Kobe fight, so I don't want to ask you about the Kobe fight. We heard you say all that. Rest in peace to Kobe. What I would
Yep.
like to ask you about Kobe is, I know after that fight, I've heard you say that you guys have, you mended the fence. You didn't really have a conversation, but you guys worked out a little bit, out on the West Coast, and as two black men, putting their differences aside, talk a little bit about the positivity of that, and also what was Kobe like working out with him?
Well, back then, those were the things that happened, and it was
Mm,
just a respect thing that
mm,
he was new in the league and was trying to get respect, and I
yeah,
was not letting him get that respect.
yeah, facts.
And it just unfortunate it happened. But afterwards, we all worked out at UCLA
Mm,
in the summertime, and we didn't have a sit down powwow. Amen. It
mm,
was through other people that he would tell them, "Man, I have a lot of respect for Chris,"
that's what's up.
because other people, wouldn't, step to me the way they did, and through other people, and then uh, I can't remember who it was. It might have been John Sally or somebody that I spoke to that said, "Man, Kobe, respects you and he loves working out with you because you bring the
Yeah,
best out of him." And when he passed, a lot of the things that he was doing with women basketball and people in general giving back, it made me step my game up to do the things that I do now.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's talk a little bit about the charities you're doing. You had mentioned to me the other day. What
Yeah,
do you got your hands in?
it's just mentoring young black men, giving them a positive outlook on life, giving them a format or a forum to come and talk. We have like a town hall meeting twice a month to
Mm.
talk about things that are going on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
We take trips to different cities. If you want to
Right.
be a lawyer or you want to be a Congress, we go to different. We've been to D.C. We talked to a lot of councilmen around Jacksonville and other cities, um, just to give them hope, man.
No doubt.
Everybody ain't gonna go to college, but you got to find a skilled trade
Mm-hmm.
to do something to be successful. And nobody has really done that away from their respective sport.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it because my dad was the one when he was living was one of the original people in my hometown that inspired young people to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And before he passed, he asked me to continue doing so.
That's what's up, man.
It's
That's
great, man.
commendable, man.
Salute to you, bro.
Yeah,
You make a
appreciate
great point.
that.
Not everyone's gonna go to college, man. Learn to do something with your hands. There's a lot of ways to make money out here.
It's
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
it's money out there, but the main thing is to do it the right way. Be positive. Uh, don't take away from others. There's a lot of ways to do it good. There's a lot of ways to do it bad. But with social media, you can make money all day.
Mm-hmm. And it's good. A lot of people don't really have that, man. So it's good to see that, somebody like yourself, no matter what you've done in your past, like, and at high as the career that you had to do this for people, at such a young age, people just need a little nudge in the right direction and it'll change their life forever. And a lot of people don't have that. So that's some real kudos to you, man.
Yeah,
Right. Salute.
appreciate it,
Salute.
man. They want to be heard, man. So I'm here to listen.
No doubt. No doubt. Where can like if whoever's listening to this, where can they get involved? How can they get involved? Can they send money somewhere? Can they donate their time?
Yeah.
Anything?
Anybody, if they want to reach me, just reach me at goldenchilds@gmail.com and I'll explain everything to you. And once you email me, I'll give you my personal number. We can have a conversation on the phone.
No doubt. No doubt. Before we get out of here, you still hoop a little bit, or it's a wrap?
When I'm training the kids, I can still shoot, but I'm not playing full court.
3-3.
Oh man, I'm just shooting free throws and shooting stationary threes now.
Who hardest to guard ever? Before we get out of here, hardest to guard ever in the NBA.
Oh man, well of course Mike, but I
Mike,
think
we'll put Mike over there.
AI man was
Oh yeah, AI.
they changed the hand checking rule when he came into the league,
Yeah,
and that was the way that I can control him. But
yeah.
he was hard. Rod Strickland,
Rod Strickland,
Rock
yeah.
and Rod man was a beast, man.
New
And
York City's finest.
I had to guard Mitch Richmond one game, and I was
Mitch
like,
Richmond.
oh
Strong.
yeah, 6'4", 230.
Ooh.
When he was on Golden State with Tim and them?
Golden State and Sac.
Damn. Oh yeah, when he was with Webb and them. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I got Joe Dumars a year. Played against Magic a year. Who else? Kevin Johnson was a monster out there in Phoenix, man.
KJ, yeah.
KJ, Stephon. Stephon was he was a terror, man, because when you're playing a guy that can shoot the ball 25 times or 30 times a game,
Yeah.
I don't care how good of a defensive player you are, you can't stop a great offensive player. You can't. You can limit them and hope they have a bad night, but overall, you can't stop a great offensive player, and those guys are great.
And Steph looked strong. You could just see he would go to the hole. You know what I mean? He just looked crazy. Like he just looked strong. Yeah.
See, you guys see it, but I could hear it on the floor when he's dribbling.
Yeah.
You can hear power. He was trying to throw the ball through the floor.
Yeah.
And so Steph was a monster, man. He don't know this, but he was one of my favorite players to compete against.
That's what's up. Did they change the hand check rule because AI shook Mike down? You think that's what it was? That's what the rumor on it. That's what the streets say.
Yeah, word.
Now I don't know if that was the case, but I knew that the game was getting ready to transition.
Yeah.
They wanted
Yeah.
more offense, so that was the way they could change the game by not allowing us to hand check. Because if you can put your hand on somebody, you can literally
Yeah.
push them the way you
Yeah.
want them to go,
Mhm.
Yeah.
depending on who you were.
Yeah.
Derek Harper did it. He
Yeah.
taught me how to do it. D Hart.
D-Hop. Yeah.
And
D-Hop.
so, and he was one of the hardest people. He had these big hands, strong hands. Him and Alvin Robinson, man,
Alvin
they were
Robinson.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great stuff, man. Chris, we appreciate you locking in with us,
Thanks,
man. We
man.
got mad love, mad respect, man, admiration for you. You are a
Yeah,
legend.
no.
Like I said, I know you from out west, but you one of us, man. Real talk. You even got this.
Word.
Like if I didn't know, I think you a New Yorker. You got the whole swag and the whole nine.
Yeah,
Hey man,
word.
I was there for so long, man. So I'm both coasts, man. I'm
Facts,
east
facts.
and west.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you. Hope we
Word.
get to
It
talk
was
down
a
the
pleasure,
line, man.
brother.
Yeah, anytime, brother. Salute, man. Y'all
Thanks,
be
man.
safe.
Salute, my
Yo,
bro.
salute,
You
man.
too.
Good looking.
All right,
Peace.
peace.
Peace.